Welcome to Combos from the Couch by LifeStance Health, where leading mental health professionals help guide you on your journey to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Combos from the Couch by LifeStance Health. I'm Nikki Lianza, and I'm excited to be speaking with Dr. Rosita Cortizo, and she's going to be helping us to understand more about prenatal psychotherapy. So, welcome, Dr. Cortizo. Great to have you on.
Thank you, Nikki. So good to have you. It's so good to see you and be on your podcast. Thank
Yes,
you for the invite.
definitely. So, let's begin. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you interested in specializing in prenatal psychotherapy.
Nikki, I started about 35 years ago or 36 or 7 when I went to school. I was very interested and I started my coursework in chemical dependency. And my first internship or site was working with pregnant women who had addiction problems. So I entered the prenatal world through the back door. So I of course finished that specialty and went into family work, got interested in systems therapy, so got another specialty in that area. And then through that, I went to in different areas and then came back to the field of prenatal care a few years after that and worked for 22 years in a clinic where I became the manager and started working in public health with pregnant moms recovering from, as I said, substance abuse, but also from other trauma related concerns. And I was referred because I was there full time. I got referred all the difficult cases, in depth, more important kind of trauma related work with these dissociative processes and also family therapy. Again, I end up working with moms and I that what seemed to be a casual encounter turned out to be a very important part of the work that I do today. As a matter of fact, I have come to the conclusion that universal prenatal psychotherapy services as should be a part of should be offered and should be really embedded in gynecological prenatal care.
Yes, yes,
Ultimately, it's all about giving voice to mothers and those womb babies.
definitely. Can you also tell us a little bit about, I understand you have a book coming out in March? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, yes, it's gonna be titled "The Handbook of Complex Trauma and Dissociation in Children." It's based on research and a lot of clinical work by multiple authors. I'm gonna be offering the information on prenatal care and like a special issue, just
Mhm,
alerting our readers to the importance of this invisible population and maybe
mhm.
at the beginning of the phase of life and the treatment that we offered. All areas are important, of course. It somehow we have managed to not see this important part of treatment, which is mom and womb babies.
Oh, how exciting.
Yes,
Congratulations. Good for you.
yes. Thank you, Nikki. I also have a few other articles that can be researched or people can contact me if they're interested in prenatal care and trauma, prenatal care and dissociation, the model of prenatal care that works well, and different areas to focus on. So,
Good, good. Yeah, definitely. We'll make sure we send your information so people can contact you. Definitely. So, as we dive in more, can you explain what prenatal psychotherapy is and how it can be beneficial for people during the prenatal period?
yes, I think that prenatal, how mothers used to end up, and currently end up coming to see me in LifeStance, it's because I offer that as a part of my bio. But I think it's a very important type of work. It's the earliest intervention when we're
Hmm.
talking about therapy and the importance of mental health or wellness. We start with children, and that's amazing. And we also work with adults, and that's such an important work as well. And I think that we also need to start focusing on the earliest of all the interventions, which is working with families and with the pregnant mom, which is a family unit. It's a dyad. It's the mother and the womb baby.
Hmm.
So it acknowledges the baby early on from the first session. It also, I think, prenatal psychotherapy, it's very important because it acknowledges the importance of adjustment. We don't talk about this. It's the adjustment between the mother and the baby, also the parent, the other parent, and the baby, if there is one, the
Mm.
partners, the family, but also the siblings. If there are any siblings in the
Ah.
house, we think that those kids that are 15 months or a year and a half, or they don't know what's going on, and
Mhm.
they do. If it, I have seen those kiddos in the office and they're playing, and when I ask the mom, "Can I talk to your child about the baby that it's coming?" They say, "Oh, I don't think they even know." And when I talk to them directly with their
Yeah.
permission, they know exactly what's going on, and they feel oftentimes unloved
Yeah.
because somebody new it's coming in, either it's taken a lot of attention, and they don't quite know why they are not the center of that kingdom anymore. I think
Right.
it's important to start adjusting children so prenatal care starts that conversation.
And my next question to you, I feel like you've already answered this a little bit, but how does the psychotherapy process differ when working with prenatal clients compared to other populations? Because part of what you're saying is that you're already acknowledging and seeing that womb baby right there. And so that would be different than as you're working with other populations. But are there other reasons as well that's a little different?
That's a great question. I think it's almost, I call it individual therapy plus,
Ah, I
because
love that.
you're working with the mom, but you're also working with the baby. It's very
Mhm.
interesting. When moms came in, I naturally started saying hi to them and then welcoming the baby and asking for permission. So you start working on boundaries and honoring the baby. So I started asking the moms naturally if I could talk to the baby, if I could welcome the baby, if she had a name or a nickname, which I think it's very important to instead of calling the baby it or somebody,
Mhm.
start to give the baby, because moms already have that and parents already have that in their heart or in
Yeah.
their mind, but it's not coming out. So I hope that I in the sessions I help integrate that a little bit. And so we're providing, I and the people that the therapies that are already working in the prenatal ward in birth psychology, we're honoring the baby in the room, welcoming the baby already. And I, out of all those early interventions and treating the mother, which is treatment, and the baby prevention, and both at the same time, because there are a lot of projections that moms have already, whether it's a baby boy or a baby girl, and whether they were prepared or not. So I formulated a model, not that we need another model in the psychological world, but I figured there are 5 areas. A lot of people didn't know where to start. So I have I have formulated a model with 5 areas that I think are very crucial and pertaining to prenatal care. And they are actually in the book that we were alluding to, that it's coming out in March. I came up with the idea that it's very important to do in utero developmental guidance. And by that, educating parents about what's happening in the womb as the baby is developing. In the first trimester, moms usually have a lot of symptoms. They need shift, and then later they cannot sleep, and helping mothers understand the physiological part of it in simple words, I think it's very helpful. And being prepared in the room, like for mothers to know that anything goes in the room. They can do, if they feel nauseous, they can sit, if they can fall, if they can lean on the sofa, they can feel comfortable. We have
Mhm.
trash cans everywhere. It has to be prenatal friendly. The other pillar, there are 5 areas, as I said. The second one is keeping in mind that we want to do family therapy, whether the family members attend the sessions or not. The most probably motivated person in the family, it's going to be the pregnant moms. Other people are going to be working while they come to the sessions. But
Mhm.
we, by being motivated, it's the Bowen model that she sends all those messages to the family, and it's the dominoes effect. She can impact the system with the information and the support. And also we can address some of the issues that may be happening with her created family or the family of origin, and some of the her friends and social systems. The third area is to connect with the treatment team, the gynecological team. I think it's really important to know who else is in her world, in her medical world, in her prenatal care system. And then Another aspect that it's important, it's the mother and one baby diet wellness. It's all
Mm.
about regulation. It's helping the mom if she's anxious to regulate in the room, to have some exercises, but mostly in the visit, and also empower the mother to know that as she's doing that, she's also helping her baby.
Yeah.
Because when the baby is born, she's going to be co-regulating the baby,
Yeah.
and she's bonding with the baby as well. And I refer to bonding differently, that attachment bonding to me, it's that unilateral in connection and relationship that exists between the mother and her baby. And then once the baby is born, then that's what I think it's what we refer to as attachment, which is
Attachment. That makes sense. Yeah.
that would say dual relationship. The baby is responding to mom and to dad and their and or partner, and then they're all there. It's a response. But before
Mhm.
that, it's more like bonding. So we talk about those things as well. And then lastly, it's the part of when we're have a relationship with the mother. The mother is already stabilized. She's ready for work. Then we can do in a little bit more of trauma informed treatment. That could be EMDR, could be any other psychotherapeutic intervention. It could be psychodynamic, sensory
Mhm.
motor psychotherapy, anything else. I just like to integrate EMDR if the mother accepts that or it welcomes that type of
Gotcha.
work. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, what are some of the common mental health challenges that prenatal people may face that can be effectively addressed through prenatal psychotherapy?
Oh my goodness. One of them is tocophobia. Tocophobia, it's the phobia of being pregnant. It's
Wow.
or pain. Some people are very afraid of having pain in South America. I am from Panama and I came here to early on and then I went back and came back. So I keep tabs on what happens in Latin America and a little bit of what's happening in our world in North America, in the States. And I think a lot of people preferred having planned C-sections here. That's not it just has to be a medical need
Mm.
per se. People don't have that type of control over what their preferred birthing practice would be. So there is a little bit of that. And we also have that some of the moms, even though and families are very ready and they plan to have a child, we have to be cautious because it's not infrequent to have a mother that didn't plan for pregnancy and didn't want a pregnancy, but then all of a sudden wants the pregnancy, but it was unplanned. And sometimes even with our best work, it's unplanned and unwanted. That opens the door to provide the mother with the resources that she needs for to do what is best for her and her family or for herself. Then we have a lot of anticipatory anxiety. What's going to happen? What's going to go? Time it's not going fast enough. You know that those 10 months of pregnancy, 3 months, it's 3 trimesters, but it's really 10 months.
Yeah.
It seems to go pretty slow for a lot of people. There is a sense of sometimes you get women that are very empowered, and all of a sudden you see the empowerment melting away by the medical disconnect. Like their mothers don't understand what's going on, and all of a sudden, a lot of people are intruding in their
Yeah.
body and their wishes and what they know. It's important to empower moms during that time as well. And there, it's of course the hormonal and physiological changes, the increased stress, their relational changes that happen.
Right.
There is abandonment sometimes. People feel like they didn't know that. They felt tricked into a pregnancy, which is always concerning and shocking in a way because it's like, how was this a surprise? But a lot of people feel very surprised, especially the partners when that happened, if it's male, female. And so that's an opportunity again to empower moms, but also it's important if the partner can come into the session to have a conjoined or refer for couples. That's always a great opportunity to clarify some of those myths about or
Mhm.
difficulties. Very important. The medical intervention with women sometimes, not always, but sometimes and oftentimes provoke flashbacks and or discomfort or memories and nightmares. So it's very important to again have those sessions and meetings with the collaborating groups like the gynecologists to prepare the mothers for touch and for closeness so that they know that these things are going to happen so that mothers are prepared so the flashbacks and the intrusion in the body it's minimal and they are cognizant about what's going on. I think that more and more it's happening, and I think that mothers are benefiting from that cautious care.
Yes.
Then lack of birthing guidance and support is popular. I have seen that sometimes moms are very surprised about what comes up as they're having a baby. I think the more that they're prepared before, the easier it'll be to go through birthing. Body image dysregulation, it's
Um,
common,
yeah.
as well as not as common. It's gestational diabetes, but it's very impactful. Women feel like they have done something wrong or
Oh, right.
somehow they have created that, and it's really a chemical shift, and it's a red flag for them maybe in the future to be cautious about this condition, but it's nothing they have done to create that really. It's just something that happens. And then you have those irregular medical exam results that cause a lot of disruption because they are so sensitive now and so good that they find a lot of irregularities, but some of those things correct themselves along the way, and mothers and partners are really concerned until things shift eventually. So those are few of the other variables that affect pregnancies and why it's so important that mothers have some kind of support along the way.
Definitely. Any other takeaways you'd like to share?
I have a couple of things that I think are some highlights of pregnancy, prenatal care as well. Breastfeeding, I think it's very beneficial and it deserves its own podcast. However, I think that we have to be cautious. I think the mother needs to drive that cart. Sometimes it's very difficult for some mothers to breastfeed because of complexities in their
Latching.
bodies and latching and the baby having the tank tied and people don't get it, or there are so many areas. So I think it's very important that we support the mom to attach to the child. That's the
Mhm.
priority, and to encourage mom to look to talk to a
Lactation
maybe
specialist?
lactation
Yeah.
specialist, yeah, and the pediatrician, but also to pay attention to if the mother it's frustrated. We
Yeah.
want to let the mother decide what's best for her and the baby. Also, we want to create at the beginning of the third trimester. I think it's really important to help moms come up with a plan for a peaceful and focused birthing
Mhm.
experience and to write it down perhaps, but keep in mind that it's going to be like a plan that you have to be very flexible
Right.
about
Flexible.
changes. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like you make a plan at this in the sand, and then there it's a hard wind, and then it's all blown away.
Right.
So what the takeaway here it's flexibility. It's the key to a magnificent birthing experience.
Mhm.
Lastly, I would like to mention that EMDR therapy can be very beneficial. It used to be a myth that pregnant women could do this type of work because of the affect that it provokes. However, I think we don't want to postpone trauma processing, and it's better to do that sooner or later in within the safe environment
Yeah.
of a cautious therapist and a caring mom. And I think it can be very beneficial for women during the prenatal and postnatal periods. So for those clinicians that are interested, they can go into the EMDR Institute website, which is emdr.com, and look for a little bit more pertaining information. I hope this was helpful.
Oh my
I
gosh, Dr. Curtiso, thank you for sharing all your insights with us about this very important topic. I know with my own clients, I often talk to them about this stuff while they're pregnant and everything like that. So I really appreciate this conversation and all the knowledge you shared today, for
Well,
sure.
thank you so much. Is there oh, a little bit more and a lot more? It's hard to put it all in a nutshell. I tried to come up with some notes because I
You
want to
did a
make sure
great job.
the key points. But I think it's a very important work. I think it's invisible work. We haven't seen the importance of that, and I think it
Mhm.
once people start working with moms, it's just delightful, and I think it's very easy to see the importance of it.
Definitely. Thank you again. Love to have you back on.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for the opportunity. Have a great day.
You too.